like most, we're struggling to get through this lockdown pandemic in an RV. But unlike most, we share all of it.
Here's what not to do and 7 things that we did to get through it.
So maybe you've heard, or maybe not, but there's like this pandemic going on, right? And so it has been really interesting for us in such small quarters in the RV.
Yeah, it seems that the pandemic has made everything smaller, right?
Yeah, and so the reality is, and a lot of you guys reached out to say, hey, how are you doing? We're worried about you. We have had the worst month RVing. So in this video, we're gonna get real with you guys because I think that's what we all need, but focus on the solution and list the 7 things that we did that helped us get out of our funk.
Now, when this whole thing started, Mercedes and I were still a team, right?
Yeah.
We were both full of fear, both freaking out.
We were on Team Fear together.
Fear. And we're watching the news around the clock to see what's going to happen, you know, next. And crazy with the uncertainty. Mercedes has a lower tolerance for insanity than I do.
Yeah, whereas insanity is his natural habitat, right?
By the end of my insanity, Mercedes wanted to smash me in the face.
No, I didn't want to smash him in the face. I just wanted his face to stop making so much noise. It got really dark, but I just want to say it because you know how you see a couple and you think, oh, they get along so great, everything's so wonderful for them.
On the outside.
Yeah, well, no, we have our hard times too, and we went through some really dark times, and we just had to shut everything down.
Yeah, this is definitely the hardest month that we've been through since we started the RVing experience. And you guys know marriage is ups and downs, right?
Absolutely. And I think what it comes down to is that at any given moment, one of us is going to be stronger than the other, right? We take turns. And I think it has to be that whoever is doing the best, like mentally, or whoever's being the most positive at the moment.
Which is 90% of the time, you babe.
No, not necessarily, because I was in a lot of fear, and sometimes I rely on him, and I'm like, just, what do we do today? I have no idea. It's all on your shoulders. And then that's why we wanted to share with you guys the 7 things that really, really helped us to get out of our funk and to focus on what we could affect.
Right. So the very first thing I did that was right was I started to reach out to more of my male friends. Most of the guys, or a lot of the guys in the RV Odd Squad. It's so important for me to pick up the phone, call other men, and bounce my crazy thoughts off of them instead of my wife.
Yeah, for sure.
And a good friend of mine reached out and he said, John, he said, have you done everything you can, you know, on your end for this pandemic?
Within reason. I mean, it was so funny. He comes to me one morning and he's like, what kind of soup would you be able to eat for like 2 months? We need to buy 2 months worth of soup, you know, so what flavor would you not mind eating every day? And I'm like, we live in an RV, we're not gonna buy 2 months worth of soup. So the next tip is to do what you can and then focus on other things that you can impact. So obviously we have to take preparations in this situation and there's stuff that has to be done.
Right.
But do it and then stop focusing on the what could. Just do what you can within reason.
Exactly. And so I made sure we had food for a fairly long amount of time. I made sure that I had all the tools necessary to defend and protect my family if things got really crazy. And they're not going to get that crazy, but that's where my head went.
You know, the third thing that we did that was really helpful, there's a saying, you got to feel it to heal it. And it stinks. It absolutely stinks. But there's this balance of like really feeling the feeling, but then taking the action necessary. So don't try to pretend like this situation isn't scary, because it is.
Right. So one of the things that I noticed right away after about a week, and when Mercedes was done with the insanity and moving on, is Mercedes was doing her morning routines, and I wasn't doing that. And so what I needed to do was get back to that routine with her. Typically, we pray together in the morning, or we meditate together in the morning, and we always pray together at night and do the Lord's Prayer with Sage before we go to sleep. Yeah. Simple things like that made a big difference. So as soon as I started doing that, I felt the healing immediately. Yeah. And then I was driving Mercedes crazy because everything was God, 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 God.
I know. And I felt guilty because it's like Holy Week and I'm like, stop talking about God. No, but it was just, you know, the other extreme.
So I think the biggest thing that I was doing was I was focusing on the problem and not the solution. I was living in the problem and not the solution. And thank God I have a wife and some friends in the RV Odd Squad that kind of pulled me back to center and said, focus, John, focus on what you can do.
Yeah, so number 4 is living in the solution, and that requires action.
So we got super, super busy. Mercedes had a list that was a lot longer than I ever imagined it would be. We had a tent full of items that we still needed to downsize. We made a phone call. We found out that Goodwill is open and taking donations. So we emptied that tent out. We filled the entire campsite with all this stuff. I built some areas for Mercedes to organize things. I hung a toilet paper holder.
Are you an inside roller or an outside roller?
I like the outside.
Well, this is good.
Of course, you probably want something different.
That's perfect.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Some people like it like this.
No, that's just blasphemous. That's just wrong. That's just insane.
No, actually, this is better.
No, this is
much better. Well, it doesn't hang out here. Think about it. It's out of the way. Yeah.
I don't know.
It's against the wall. You flip this around.
I think we're gonna have to.
It hangs off the wall. Look at this. Look at this. What a mess. Look at all this space. When I'm going poop, I'm gonna be like this.
John, there's no other way to do that. It has to be like that.
Oh, no.
I don't know.
No, it's going like this.
No, sweetheart.
Come on.
No, this is a
Stop
big
it.
deal.
This looks so much better. She's been wanting shoes. One of the things you'll notice about these RVs, guys, is it's really hard to find a shoe solution if you have more than 2 people in the house, right? And so Mercedes had a shoe organizer that she had wanted me to install for months, and I just didn't do it. So she kept me busy for a couple of days just getting this place organized. And you know the deal, guys. Happy wife, happy life.
It made me so happy when he did these things that, yes, I could have screwed in the toilet paper holder, but it wouldn't have looked nearly as nice as having him do it. Yes, I could have put the shoe solution up on my own, but it's sacrilegious for me to hold power tools in this house.
Well, and to be fair, if she ever tried to do that, I'd be pissed about it. She's not allowed to touch my tools, number one.
I can't even hold them right.
Exactly. And then I am offended that she's doing my job. That's my job. But at the same time, I didn't want to do my job. And it's not that I didn't want to do the job. It's just that we get so busy doing things.
He's like, there's so much more important
Mercedes honey-to-do list, it grew a lot bigger than I could have ever imagined. But we got busy, and we took care of it.
Yes, because what I learned was that I'm not going to feel good and then act good. You have to do the action, the hard action, and then the good feeling follows.
It's so true.
It is, unfortunately. I wish it were the other way around. You know, the next thing that we did that helped a lot was social distance friendly outings. We want you to stay safe, but we understand that there's the mental health aspect of it too, and you have to get outside. We're fortunate enough to be situated that we're in a place where we can walk around the block and adhere to all the social distance rules. Even just going for a quick drive, you know, not getting out of the vehicle, not doing anything that violates the social distance rules, but just a quick drive for that mental health. It's so awesome. Or even just going outside on our RV spot, not leaving our designated spot, but just sitting out in the sun. You know, those social distance friendly outings feel so good, and just getting that sun on my face, oh my goodness, that helped me tremendously.
Now, this one does lie on Mercedes' shoulders. Mercedes does not get out of the RV as much as I do.
I don't.
She just doesn't. And so that was one thing that she could fix. We bought Sage a little swimming pool that she could swim in, right? We organized the outside and made our campsite really, you know, fun to be at. We put some plants out, right?
So it's not just going for a walk, it's going for multiple walks, you know, while staying 6 feet apart at least from everyone.
Yep, we're taking 3 or 4 walks a day now, and Sage likes it. We take the dog for a walk. And one of the really cool things is the day before Easter and on Easter, a whole bunch of people around the park, other campers, got a hold of some chalk and started writing really cool stuff on the road.
Yeah.
And really positive messages.
Yes.
And everyone is super, super friendly with each other. All of those, the pandemic has almost caused us to meet people that we didn't know before because we feel like we're all in this together.
Yeah, so it's like we're shouting across the road from one another because we don't want to get close, but there's a certain friendliness in knowing that we're not going through this alone, so we're still creating community, we're just doing it from afar.
Exactly, and so I'm the guy that goes out and gets our groceries once a week. Now I'm asking my neighbors if they need anything. I'll do a quick drive around the park and say, hey guys, you know, I've got my mask and I've got all my stuff ready to go to the grocery store. A great feeling of community.
This next item that we've done is one that I've been working on for a while, but I was only working on half of it. I was missing the other half. And that's really focusing on a morning routine, but also an evening routine, because they're bookends. They're two sides of the same coin. You cannot have one that's killer without the other one being strong as well. I've had to adjust my morning routine for this new pandemic lifestyle that we're all navigating. But more importantly, what I learned was that I have to create an evening routine, a shutdown routine that cues, especially since we work from home, that this is the time where we're going to turn off the computers and walk away.
Yeah, this has been a big one for us because we work so hard that we never really turned the TV on. We never had a time to slow down. We didn't really know how to shut the light off, right?
Yes, because they say when you work from home, you either never leave work or you never leave home. And for us, it was the former.
After we're done with dinner, typically we turn on the TV, something we haven't done in a long time, and we'll watch movies together, pull out the bed, and just relax as a family. And it's something that we haven't done in so long that it's bringing us tighter and tighter together as a family and making this thing the best that it can be.
The other thing that we did was we really started focusing on our dinner.
One of the things that we've been doing is we've been taking time to prepare our lunches, and then about an hour and a half to plan and prepare our dinner time as a family. So we'll do it together. I'll cook in the grill, Mercedes will prep inside the kitchen, and then we all sit down at the table, we say a prayer, and we have dinner together.
I think given the pandemic, that family dinner needs to be an every night occurrence to really kind of stick together in this.
Yep. One of the biggest struggles that Mercedes and I have had in the last month is for the first time in 15 months, we haven't been able to keep up with our social media. And we're actually so far behind.
Comments,
as you guys know, the RV Odd Squad is an incredible community and of people that we love and have gotten to know over the past year. We are actually having our own personal private community built on social media. We're having a social media platform built for the RV Odd Squad.
And what we're hoping is that we can have a space where we can really connect at a deeper level instead of having 15 different social medias and all this stuff.
We can't keep up with it.
And we really want to get to know you at that deeper level, not where it's all public and then the haters chime in. So this is invite only, and the only way you're going to get an invite is if you sign up for the newsletter. So make sure you sign up for that. We want you to know that we love you. We want you to stay safe, and we'll see you in the next video.